turn our attention to the 1500 meters. It was a wonderful win in the men's event for Mariano Garcia, outwitting everybody. How will this women's equivalent go? We'll start on the outside with a recently upgraded silver medalist from the last year's edition in Nanjing, Georgia Hunter-Bell, undefeated in 2026. She's taken medals at the Olympics and at the World Championships since coming back to the sport after thinking she was done. Hiltz took a great silver in Glasgow and has got a wonderful kick on them when they get it right, just won their 7th national title. Gate Guimau was brilliant in their rounds on Friday night. 58 seconds for a final 400 meters, and she looked so comfortable doing it. Bronze last night for the Australian in the 3000 meters, Jessica Hull, competing in both the 15 and the 3K, the only woman to attempt the double. Could she possibly get 2 medals? A brilliant bronze for Adam Spencer just now for her nation in the men's 1500 meters. Heartbreak for Ethiopia in that women's 3000 meters with a fall for Fereni Hailu. Title hopes with Hailom here in this women's 1500. Gracie Morris led her heat. She looked really calm when the athletes came piling past her. Kazimierska of Poland, Olympic and World Championship finalist. She broke Lydia Hruska's indoor record, 4:01.78 recently. Susan Ajore-Sanders of Kenya was 6th in Paris at the Olympic Games, 5th in Nanjing last time out. And Ludovicia Cavalli, probably inspired by Nadia Batacleti last night in her runaway win in the 3000 meters. Cavalli back in a global final after health struggles in the last few years. Ethiopia have ruled this event in the last few editions. They have the last 4 titles, but the nation has no medals yet here at the World Indoor Championships. Can Berke Hailum buck that trend over the next 7.5 laps? Wobble on the line from the Frenchwoman, Gate Guimau, the European indoor champion, a chance at world glory here. Kazimierska of Poland in career best form. She was so proud to have made this team. Kazimierska raced here so many times as a youngster, has been studying over in the United States, and what a homecoming for the Polish woman to be here in a global final. But a brief stint at the front for the Polish woman before Jessica Hull goes to the front and said, I'm not mucking around today. I'm not having a sit and kick like we did yesterday in the 3000. 31 seconds through the first 200 meters. It's under 4-minute pace already.
This is sensible running from Jess Hull. She's become a serial medalist. And how about this, though? She wants a sensible pace, and all of a sudden, Hailum, the world junior champion from 4 years ago, has said, even that's not fast enough. Wow, I don't think this is going to come down to an 8-woman burn-up over the last 20 meters. This is really bold from Hailum, Hannah.
Berke Hailum has the fastest indoor PB out of these women at 3:58. She's gone 3:53 outdoors. Jessica Hull faster than that, as is Georgia Hunter-Bell. But at the moment, the Ethiopian is growing her lead with every half lap that goes. Georgia Hunter-Bell will really want Jessica Hull to do the work to close up the gap on Hailum. I think Jessica Hull would want someone else to do it as well. If these women here in the chase pack hesitate at all, Berke Hailum is going to build up a brilliant lead here. She's gone quick, Hailum, down to 1:33 through 600 meters. That's faster than the opening circuits. I wonder if she's trying to win a psychological battle here, build up a lead so that the others just look at each other and race for silver.
Really tough dynamic for Hunter-Bell and for Hull. The Briton in second, the Australian third, because they're acting as pacemakers for the rest. Don't rule out Nikki Hiltz. Their turn of speed at the end, the American just out of picture, is ferocious. And Hiltz finished very quickly with a blistering last lap in the semi-finals. But this is incredible from Hailum. She's still so young, Hannah, and this is such a brave, brave way to try and win a gold over a middle distance.
Berke Hailum, she's certainly got the talent. Is she a natural front runner? I'm not sure. We often see Berke Hailum holding on to Kujawy. That's a normal dynamic on the circuit, or maybe for Fereni Hailu. She's normally got a teammate to gauge her effort off, to help her out. But Berke Hailum is casting a lonely figure here off the front at the women's 1500-meter final. That gap definitely isn't growing. I think with 1,000 meters done in the race, they're just starting to shrink the gap back to Berke Hailum.
I agree. Georgia Hunter-Bell is acting as pacemaker for the rest of the group. Jess Hull is right on her shoulder, and they are unequivocally closing. Don't rule out Hiltz. She's just at the back of that group, and Susan Ajore Sanders of Kenya is still in the mix as well. They're going to catch the Ethiopian.
This is such an effort from Georgia Hunter-Bell, many people's favourite for this title. Her training partner, Keely Hodgkinson, goes in a few moments to try and win the 800. But Berke Hailum trying to make it 5 consecutive titles for Ethiopia. She's tired, she's starting to falter, Berke Hailum. She takes the belt. Hunter-Bell and Hull pull up alongside Berke Hailum. They've still got Guimau and Hiltz with them. The kick from the Frenchwoman and the American athlete is brilliant. Don't underestimate those two. Georgia Hunter-Bell trying to do this the hard way. Hunter-Bell leads from the front. She's chased down Berke Hailum. Can she shake off Hull, Guimau, Hiltz? It looks like it could be a title for Georgia Hunter-Bell. She's been close so many times, and in the end, the Brit streaks away. It's a win for Georgia Hunter-Bell, a silver for Hull, and a dive for the line between Guimau and Hiltz. Has Hiltz got on the global podium again after getting a silver in Glasgow? Wow, hats off to Georgia Hunter-Bell. And you know what, Rob? She becomes the first British woman to take a world title, indoors or out. She succeeded with the likes of Laura Muir and Kelly Holmes have failed. She takes the global title, her first global title. Jessica Hull, a double podium finish. Hang on a minute, that's a British record for Georgia Hunter-Bell as well. She's been trying to get that mark all season, and she does it here in a championship race. Hiltz with a lifetime best as well, and another trip to the podium. Guimau, a national record, but it wasn't enough. And poor Berke Hailum, hats off to the Ethiopian. She really gave it a go.
Well, what a race. It had everything, didn't it? Hiltz is over the moon with their bronze medal. Guillemot out-dipped and crashed across the line. She has the consolation of a national record, so world lead for Hunter-Bell. Area record for Hull, PB for Hiltz, national record for Guillemot. The first 4 inside 4 minutes. It was such an enjoyable race. It wasn't the usual 8 dawdling round and then a 2-lap burn-up. Nothing wrong with those. It was so different and so bold. But Hunter-Bell got her tactics absolutely right. Guillemot was heartbroken to be out-dipped for the bronze, but successive nights with gold for Britons, Josh Kerr and Georgia Hunter-Bell. And Hiltz is so often such a good finisher. You have to feel sorry for the Frenchwoman being out-dipped by 0.03 of a second. But Hunter-Bell was brave, Hannah. She took on the responsibility of closing down the big lead that Hailum had generated. She acted as the pacemaker for the rest, and she wasn't swallowed up. In fact, she was still pulling away from all the rest as she crossed the line.
And I think it's important to note with Jess Hull here that she didn't close that gap. I think it was a really smart decision from the Australian to say whoever's going to close up to Hailum is going to be vulnerable, and perhaps nearing up on 30 laps in a race. In her legs, it wasn't for Hull. Hunter-Bell takes the gold in a British record in a world lead, 3:58. Hull, the silver in an Oceania record of 3:59. And Hiltz, a lifetime best, 3:59 for the American as well.